Okay, basically sovereignty is giving the power to the people having the power, okay? To, like, say as an example, to take the power away from the oligarchy and give it back to the people. The people should be in power, and I think that runs right along with referendums. Sovereign nations have referendums where the people have a say. But that's basically what sovereignty means, is the people having the power, okay, and not elitists and rogue governments and stuff. And there's a lot of parts to sovereignty, but that's the basics of it.
And that triggers something, a memory. I believe on our $10 bill, it states that we are sovereignty.
I think it used to be. Some of the new ones don't. What's her name on them?
Can I get a...
Yeah, if you have one.
I think I have a picture of it.
I know the old bill had Sir John A. Macdonald on it, and I think that did say.
I thought this was the new bill, but it was just a photo.
Well, she's got it anyway, trust me.
I do have it. I'm going to get it.
Anyway, they've made the new bill, and it's lengthways, and it's got this lady on it. I don't want to get into it. But basically, I'm really pissed off they took Sir John A. Macdonald off the bill. Okay? He is very, very important in this country. Okay? And to just axe him off the bill like that was unceremonious and such a liberal thing to do. But no, I'm not okay with it.
Anyways, I will find it and
okay.
send
But
it
anyways,
to you.
on the old bill it said that we were sovereign. So, you can read it. Look it up. The old bills are still around. So, I mean, if you have one, put one away, because that's history. And now, with the new money they're coming out with, I call it funny money. It's like Canadian Tire money or something. And they're erasing our history. They're taking down statues of Sir John A. Macdonald and various other statues of people who were very important to this country. Okay.
And our money just kind of rang something else to me. The government's so concerned about carbon tax, the carbon, our footprint, right? Is that money not plastic?
I know. And they fly their Learjets to all their conferences where they run us down.
So our money's plastic, which basically never breaks down. And
it's based from oil products.
Yes, and oil is in it. Yes, very good point. Saudi oil at the moment. So they're against leaving a carbon print, but our actual currency is made out of something that will never break down.
Yeah.
And leave a huge carbon print. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Well, the stupid thing there is they're going through all this cost to change the bills when they're taking money away from us anyway, and they're going to go to a digital money system where you have a card, which is made from oil, by the way, oil-based products. And so it's almost like a waste of money. And it seems to be what the Liberals are good at. But, again, why change the bills now when they're just going to take them out of circulation and go to a digital currency? Okay, I don't understand it. It just seems weird to me.
Anything else?
Oh, you didn't want to talk about that stuff?
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Sorry.
Censorship. There's a word we should talk about.
I just want to Google this guy.
Okay.
So I have a better understanding of who he is.
Basically, censorship is something we all know. Censorship is now run by algorithms. It's run by manually. It's run in our laws. It's run through our schools and our education system. Censorship is taking away your freedom to think critically, okay? And if you disagree with the ones in power, then you are censored for that. and I'm really against that. I think there's a thing called free speech, and as long as that free speech isn't causing hate or violence, I don't see what a problem is with having free speech, even if you differ with a government or other people about issues. That's what creates conversations. Is and you. Back in the old days, you would agree or disagree or agree to disagree, but now you're a racist if you don't agree with somebody, or you're this or you're that, and they're calling you all these names that usually don't apply to what they're calling you anyway.
Yeah.
Or what the conversation is, but censorship is rampant, and I want to see it stop.
Mm-hmm. And going on to the racist, there's a member of the London, Ontario Yellow Vest. We were out at a rally, and there was just 4 of us there. Like, it was very small and peaceful. We were just standing on the corner holding our signs. And this woman had one that said, "Free speech, free press." And this car drove by and yelled out to her she was a racist, because we want free speech and true news. She's a racist for that.
Yeah. What a concept. True news. Holy crap. I thought you only got that at Ellie's place.
Okay, something else on the censorship that was brought to my attention this morning was Tommy Robinson. I don't know, this is the first I've even heard his name. But apparently he was banned from both Facebook and Instagram. So because he may have certain opinions or beliefs, and Facebook and Instagram, who is being paid from the Democrats and the liberals, the right or the left wing, to censor anybody that differs from their opinion. So his opinion did not match, I'll say, the liberals' opinion. So he's been banned from both Facebook and Instagram for voicing his thoughts.
He's a nationalist. He's one of those nationalist people.
And a racist, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Now, like I say, this is the first time I've even heard his name. I haven't had the time to research what was said or whatever, but it shouldn't matter what was said. It's his opinion. We all have our opinion. Right?
I've known Tommy Robinson for a long time. I've been following him for about a decade, and he is probably the UK's biggest patriot, okay? He has put himself in harm's way. He's put himself in jail a couple of times. He's fought 10 or 15 migrants to take back a couple of little kids that they had taken for child grooming gangs, and he brought them back to their parents. This man is the actual epitome of a patriot. In my eyes, I have so much respect for Tommy Robinson. And I wish we had Tommy Robinsons here, simply because Canada right now needs them, okay? What we have right now are a lot of people who are still in denial, who are denying that we are being sent into the same disarray that the EU and the UK have been put in for the past 10 years. Well, all you have to do is read the Migrant Compact, the UN Compact on Migration. If you read that document, you'll see that your life means nothing, okay? These migrants, they're not only covered by our laws, but they're covered by international laws. And if you do or say anything to them that goes against that, you can be thrown in jail, seriously. And that's how little your life means right now, okay? Read that document. Yeah. The first 19 pages are the most important. And if you can read those, that's pretty much in layman. It's not like one of our, S or C bills or anything like that that's really hard to read. It's in layman. And if you read it, you don't even have to read between the lines. It's all right there in bold English that you're expected to bow down to these migrants, okay? and they can do what they want to you. You can't even fight back. And that's what Tommy Robinson has been in for the last 10 years or more, trying to fight for Britain's rights, okay? He's trying to get Britain back to a nationalist country instead of an invaded, defeated country that it is now. And it's really sad to see, because I'm part Welsh. My grandpa
Me too.
was from Wales, right? Yeah. And I was always proud of being that part British, and like I am being Italian, right? I'm half Italian, by the way. But the point is that he is fighting for Britain or the UK to be nationalist again, and for people to be able to have a say, and for referendums and stuff. These are all things that he fights for, okay? He's not a racist. He has so many colors of people that work with him doing this, and who support him. It's insane to even imply he's a racist. He is someone who protects children, okay? And he's been exposing these grooming gangs that came over from the Middle East and took over Britain, and basically the police won't do anything. Because the laws have been changed, like they tweaked the words, and it's basically legal for these people to have grooming gangs. We're looking at that here if we don't wake the hell up fast.
Well, it is happening here.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is.
Because people often, I believe it was in Kitchener, again, I'm not 100% sure, where there was a fellow on the bus that beheaded somebody. Was that Kitchener?
That was in Edmonton.
Okay,
yeah.
Edmonton,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He was Asian, actually.
But he got away with literally murdering somebody.
And is now on day passes, unescorted day passes, back into society, and has been for a couple of years.
So,
you know, I mean, in these, I don't know what his motive was. I don't know if he was Muslim or not. But that's the kind of things we're going to be facing with these Muslim people who, if you've ever read the Quran, it tells them to do these things, okay? And that's why I say it's an evil book. And I don't see that when I read the Bible. The old King James Bible, yeah, but who the hell listens to reads the old King James Bible anymore? There's so many rewritten versions of the New Testament. And really it's become a lot more of a religion and less of what it used to be, was authoritarian rule. And I always saw religion as a way to scare people into oppression, okay? You do this or God's going to strike you with lightning, okay, and that kind of stuff. If you steal something, we cut off your hand, okay? That's not in the new Bibles, okay? That I know of. I don't read the Bibles. I'm just saying I've never seen it myself. And the Quran still is used to this day in the exact same way the King James Bible was a couple of thousand years ago. And that's why I see it as a barbaric book. But anyone who reads from that book is following that scripture. And basically that's why I don't believe in moderates. There are no such thing as moderates and extremists. They all read from the same book. They all follow the same religion, okay? So that might be another video, but basically I just wanted to get out that the Quran is still very barbaric, okay? And if you haven't read the Quran, read some of it. It'll wake you up, okay? And these people are told if they're not Muslims, they're infidels, and they must either be converted to Muslim or killed, okay? And that's the basic skinny of it, and you can look in the book yourself, it says that. So I see it as barbaric, and these people are coming here across our borders, unvetted, who read and practice from this book, okay? And it has nothing to do with color. There is white Muslims, there is, a lot of Asian Muslims out in the Philippines and stuff like that. So I mean, there's all different nationalities of Muslims. You're not just unique to one color. A lot of African Muslims as well. So it's not about color. It's about a religion that's not even a religion. It's an ideology.
Yeah.
It's not even. Yet they'll say it's a religion when they want to use it to their advantage. Well, we want $200,000 to build a mosque for our religion because we have religious freedoms in Canada. Well, you know what? build your own damn mosques, okay? We shouldn't have to pay for your mosques.
But we are.
Well, we're not going to. No, they
The
have
one in
not allowed.
Alberta?
That's different. But I was talking more about the one in Woodstock.
Okay.
They had demanded $200,000 to build a mosque because Canada has religious freedoms. That's not what religious freedoms means. It doesn't mean Canada pays to build your churches, okay? So they use it as a religion when it applies to them. Really, it's not. It's an ideology. And that book is of basically the book of that ideology. And it's very violent. It's very 14th century kind of thing, like medieval kind of thing. So that's, the big difference. It's not about color, okay? And like I said, there's Muslims of all colors. So, but again, like Tommy Robinson has been fighting this, trying to get Britain back on track and trying to save children from the grasps of these grooming gangs. And he's been called racist, he's been called white supremacist, he's been called white nationalist, which he is. He's a nationalist and he's white, but he's not a white nationalist per se. He's got a lot of people of color who work with him. They're all nationalists too. Are they white nationalists? No, they're colored nationalists. So that word is being used by MSM to cast shadows on us.
Yeah.
Anyone who's a nationalist.
And in my opinion, all these little trigger words like racist and socialist and all those were created by the government to divide us. They keep telling us diversity is what gives us our strength. But look at what is happening because of all these labels. We're fighting amongst each other because we're labeled by names that were created by the government. And the reason for that is to keep us fighting amongst each other, so we don't, again, see what's going on, what they're doing.
It was very much like what the CIA did back in the 60s and 50s. They came out with the word conspiracy theorist, okay? That applied to anyone who looked into anything they were doing or disagreed with anything they did. They were called a conspiracy theorist as an intimidation factor. And they admit they made those words up to intimidate and divide. And so you have people, half of them calling the other half conspiracy theorists because they question things. They're critical thinkers. Anyone who's a critical thinker is a conspiracy theorist. Or maybe the other people are just coincidence theorists, all right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, no, these words were all created to divide, okay? And if you talk to anyone who's, say, an Antifa or a liberal voter who's a solid liberal voter who believes in everything the liberals does is gold, if you disagree with them, if you present them with facts and truth that counter what they're saying, they will call you names. They will call you racist. They will call you misogynist or whatever word they can come up with, anti-Semite or whatever. And like I said, a lot of times those words don't apply to
White
what you're...
supremacists or,
to what the conversation's even about. They just start throwing words out because they're intimidated, because they know they have no facts and truth on their side.
And I am going to bring up what happened to me my very first rally in London. I've only been to a handful of them because I'm more of a behind the scenes. But anyways, the first one, I didn't know, I wasn't even aware of all these different groups. I was in the yellow vest because I was aware of, at that time, a little drop in the bucket of what was going on in Canada and I didn't agree with. So all these people were telling me about these other groups, that are against us and or for us, and I would just say to them, I'll never remember the names, just tell me good group or bad group, good group or bad group. But I'm always one, I don't like to take on somebody else's opinion of you, okay? Because it's going to be their opinion. I like to form my own opinion. So at this no, it was the second rally I was at. I'm sorry, excuse me. Antifa did show up. So I was curious, and what drew my attention was the difference in our signs. At that day I had a sign that said, "We love Canada." And the Antifa sign said, "We love our Muslim neighbors." So I just wanted a picture with the two beside each other to show the difference in statements. Because mine was saying, I made the sign, so it meant, "We love all of Canada," which means whether you're Oriental, Italian, African American,
Transgender,
gay, straight, woo, heterosexual, or Muslim,
anything,
whatever you are,
anything.
right? We love Canada. So I walked across the street to where they were, and I went to ask them if I could get a picture taken, and right away, before anything came out of my mouth, they're yelling, "Racist, racist." And I looked at my sign and I'm like, I'm a racist because we love Canada? And they were saying yes. And they were blowing their horns this far away from my face and my ears, basically censoring me on wanting to communicate with them. And I almost feel sorry for them because, in my opinion, they're very ignorant as far as the issues going on in Canada, like the seriousness against our children. It has nothing to do with whether you're black or white or, like, it has to do with what's going on in Canada. So, yeah, so for me having a "We Love Canada" sign, I was labeled a racist.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I seen the sign. She's racist for sure. No, and that's the whole thing about it. Okay, those are paid protesters. Antifa and the whole feminist movement of today, they're all paid by George Soros to cause division and yell racist at us and stuff like that because we are nationalists. We believe in our sovereignty. We believe in we love our country, and we love the fact that we have so many colors and different nationalities of people living together in peace. Well, we had up until about a decade or so ago.
Until the labels came out.
Yeah, until the labels came out. We're living in peace. And there was problems. I'm not saying everything was perfect. Myself as a transgender person, I can tell you 30 and 40 years ago, it was tough to be transgender. Yeah. But now that it's all on the table and it's a lot more accepted. So I'm just saying overall, things were kind of different, but it worked. It wasn't perfect. We had violent people, we had thieves and bank robbers, and we had pedophiles, and we had bullies, we had all kinds of, but it wasn't like it is now. It's running rampant, okay? And so basically what I'm trying to get across is I'm a nationalist.
Me too.
But no, it's like they're doing all this on purpose, okay? It's all to divide us. We have half of the people fighting with the other half the people, and they know a divided country cannot unite to fight back, okay? We cannot unite to fight back for our sovereignty, which is the power of the people, okay? And that's what Bernier wants to do, basically. He wants to give the people back the power. Mm-hmm. And, if he's bad or racist for that, then that doesn't even make sense to me. I'm sorry. Racism is hating someone because of their color, okay? I've never ever heard Bernier say he hated anyone because of their color. So anyone that calls him a racist, it does not fizz with me. He's a nationalist, and he wants Canada to be back to the way, not necessarily the way it was, but he wants to make it better. He wants to have immigrants come here, not migrants, especially mass illegal migration. He's against that. He wants immigrants who are going to come here and work and put into our society and be a part of our society and adapt to our society. They can still have their own religions and customs and stuff. Look at Caravan, for crying out loud. all people of all countries came together and shared their customs and their foods and all this other stuff. That's what Canada is, or was, okay? And now they're dividing us all and making us fight amongst each other so that we cannot unite and have our sovereignty back. And that's all, like I say, goes back to globalists and the UN and what they're doing. And that's what the Yellow Vest movement is fighting against, is all that corruption from the UN, from the globalists, and from our corrupt government, who just handed our sovereignty over to the globalists, and they, without even asking us if it was okay, in a referendum, okay? And these words are all very important. And so, all in all, I think people need to start coming together, start putting your differences aside. If you don't like somebody's personality, whatever, you're fighting the same cause, okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
And the Yellow Vest movement is not white nationalists. We have a lot of different color. We have a lot of diversity in that group. So don't believe this racist crap about Yellow Vests. No. We want sovereignty. We want our countries back. And, you know, France wants their country back. Germany wants their country back. Brussels wants their country. And Amsterdam wants their country. And Sweden wants their country back. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with having closed borders and vetting people. I don't see why we're being called names for wanting vetted refugees, okay? And maybe when some of these Antifa, you know, people's mothers or grandmothers get gang raped by 25 of these guys, maybe they'll start to understand exactly why we're fighting for our borders and our sovereignty, okay? Tommy Robinson has been fighting this stuff a long time, okay? And like I said, he himself fought 10 or 15 of these guys to take back a couple of young children that were going into the grooming gangs, or that were part of the grooming gangs. He's not a racist. He's a nationalist. He's a patriot. And we need more patriots. And I feel a lot of the Yellow Vest movement are patriots. They're patriotic people who are fed up with being forced. You know, we're like cattle being prodded up the ramp. That's not the way Canada's supposed to be, and that's not the way a lot of the world's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't buy into the hype.
Yeah. I don't understand how people can say they do not want to support the Yellow Vest. To me, that just tells me they're not aware of the truth of the Yellow Vest.
Well, the MSM is telling them, mainstream media is telling them that we're bad.
Personally, I am in fear for our future. I am in fear for our children.
And our grandchildren, and their grandchildren.
That is why I'm wearing the Yellow Vest, because I feel personally it is my duty to warn my brothers and sisters and my family, my nation, of the dangers. That is why I wear the Yellow Vest. That's why we are all wearing the Yellow Vest. Now, yes, some of us may come across as angry, you know, but we are angry.
We're fed up.
We're scared. We're angry. And everybody has a different way to communicate, right? In fear, right? Some people shut right up when they're scared. Some people scream.
Some people get aggressive or violent.
Yeah. So we're just trying so hard to reach out to all of you and beg you, please just listen and then research.
And feel free to join us if you're finding that we support what you support. You're always welcome to come join us. There's no membership fees or anything like that. You just buy a Yellow Vest. You don't even have to have a Yellow Vest.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. You don't even have to join us.
Come and join us for a while.
Just believe in our mission.
And look us up. Read up on us and come and hang out with us and find out for yourself that we're really a good bunch of people who just want our sovereignty back.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, that's how I'm seeing
We're
things.
just trying to protect you all.
And
that's
you know,
all, bottom line.
we're doing this for your kids and your grandkids and their futures. And you know, you want them to have futures. You want them to have a Canada. I want my grandchildren to have a Canada.
Let's be proud to say we're Canadian again.
Yeah, and let's be proud to be nationalists. There's nothing wrong with being nationalist.
Yeah. And also on the RIC, back to the RIC, R-I-C, the referendum initiated by the citizens, we're basically, hand in hand with the Yellow Vest. The Yellow Vest is out to spread awareness. And the Rick is to bring solution to the problem. Okay? So that's why some of us may reach out to certain minorities or people that might be affected personally by what's going on in the nation. We're going to reach out. What are your concerns? Because if we don't know the concerns, we can't help you.
Exactly. And I wanted to point out too that if you were a legal immigrant, okay, who came here legally, don't believe the hype that people are saying that we are against you, okay? You are more than welcome to come join us. If you are someone who loves this country and wants to preserve this country, come and join us. There's no one dislikes you or hates you, okay?
No.
It's not about that. And I just want you to know that you should be as mad as we are. But you went through all that to come here. Mm-hmm. And these migrants are just being handed everything, hand and fist, basically. That should upset you too. So also, and you have to look out for your children and your grandchildren's futures, which they're not going to have a very good future if we don't fight for this now. And that's why we are out freezing our butts off in all these low degree temperatures. I mean, look at Quebec and Edmonton and Alberta, minus 35, and they're out there, you know, fighting with yellow fighting, but they're protesting with yellow vests on, and they're freezing their butts off for your children and your grandchildren and our sovereignty. Okay, so don't fall into the hype, and if don't feel you can't come and join us, come hang out with us and learn for yourself.
Or follow us.
Or follow us on Facebook
or on YouTube. Yeah, like there's other ways of not having to even leave your house. But go to the true sources, like our Facebook pages, like and Elles channel on YouTube, and also the RIC Canada is just in the process of a YouTube channel as well. So keep an eye open for that. I will get Ellie to post it on her site if she's willing to share that.
Yeah.
And follow us too, because it's from us. It's the truth. It's from us.
And don't believe mainstream media.
No.
TV news is lying to you to divide you and us, okay? Like I say, do your own investigative work. Don't just believe some, you know, TV personality that you might find it, you know, that you relate to or whatever, because they're lying to you. They're propagandists. They're not even newscasters.
They know how to edit things. And
oh yeah, no, they do an amazing job on doublespeak and wordplay to make things the way they want, to follow their narrative. And the narrative of the globalists, so who pay them, okay, and realize that, you know, they get $1 billion a year in corporate welfare to lie to you. If they're real news, wouldn't they be making their own money? Why do they need corporate welfare? Think about that. So anyway, I just, you know, like I said, I want to say that I'm a proud yellow vester. And I hope to see us grow. I hope to see us get more diverse and grow and show the government that we're not going to take it, okay? We want to fight back. And we don't want to do it by a revolution or a civil war. We would rather do it peacefully. And it can be done peacefully, but we need more people to join us. And that's the key of it right there. And more color people of color who, like I say, immigrated here legally, okay? You should be as upset as we are and as shocked as we are and want to fight for this country because we all love this country, face it. And like I say, I'm the product of 2 immigrants. I know you're the product of immigrants. So, I mean, we're not saying that immigration is wrong, and we're all for immigration, like Tracey had said. So don't buy into the hype of the mainstream media, which is TV news. Do your own investigation work. Is there anything else you wanted to chat about? Or?
I think that's it for today.
Okay, well, we're going to end
We
this.
might have more tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do more videos. There was some things that we wanted to talk about. I just wanted to ask you quickly what your thoughts are on Bill 89, That's the transgender bill, where they're forcing parents to accept the transgendering of their children. Okay, now I have no problem with children expressing. If they are a boy and feel they're a girl, they can express that. That's fine. But to be giving them drugs like puberty blockers, understand something. Puberty is the most important thing of deciding who you become. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and sexually. Everything is decided in puberty. So to block that out is blocking out who you will be and changing who you will be. No child should be given these puberty blockers. They're dangerous. The doctors do not know the long-term effects of these drugs, and it's known that if the child is taking these drugs and decides, okay, I'm not transgender, I'm happy with who I am, they'll never be able to have kids. They'll never be able to procreate. These drugs kill that ability, okay, in both male and female. So know that. But what are your thoughts on parents being forced to let their kids transgender as part of school, telling them that they're transgender, and or having their child taken away if they want to say something about it?
Okay, first off, I'm going to say I'm a naturopath, so I'm against all pharmaceuticals.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that was.
Holistic. I believe in holistic health.
Yeah.
That is the true health. It's the original health. Anyways, that being said, what I found really sad one day, I'm a nanny, and I nanny for 5 children from the ages of 1-year-old up to 11 years old. And 2 of my kids one day were in the back seat of my car. They are 9 and 11. And they were talking about genders in the back seat. And I'm just kind of listening, not saying anything. And the oldest said to me, "Tracey, what do you think?" So I know it's a very delicate subject for many people. So I didn't want to overstep what the family may believe or whatever. So I gave my honest opinion on it. And I just said to the girls, well, all I know is when you go to the hospital and you have a baby, the doctor says, congratulations, you had a baby boy, or congratulations, you had a baby girl. But the sad thing about it, those kids looked at me in the rearview mirror with confusion on their face. They did not...
Because they're being indoctrinated to believe that there's like 35 genders, okay, and there's only 2.
Yeah, they didn't understand.
Like I said, Tracey and I grew up close to the same era together. We're not far apart in age, so we kind of relate back into that time where there was only 2 genders. I still feel there's only 2 genders.
There is only 2.
And all this multi-gender and pronoun agenda is social construct, okay? But the kids are being indoctrinated, and that's why I believe the kids looked at her with such shock, because they've been indoctrinated to believe that...
It's another way to divide us as well,
exactly.
Right? To bring up...
And to turn kids against parents and parents against... to break the family unit up, and that's... one of the globalists' agendas was to attack the family unit. But no, I just wanted to get your idea on as a cis woman, as a straight cis woman, and you know, I feel it's wrong to be transgendering children. Let them hit 18 years old or 20 years old, then they can decide for themselves. Then they're adults, and they can say, okay, I'm still transgender. Now I want to go through the HRT, which is the hormone replacement therapy, and look towards surgery, okay? But convincing kids that they're transgender, and maybe because a girl is a tomboy, doesn't mean she's a boy, okay? I knew a lot of tomboys growing up, and, you know, they could wear dresses and look beautiful, or they have their hair all nice, and or they could be out, you know, tied back with their hair, riding bikes and dirt trails and playing sports with the boys. Didn't mean they were a boy, okay? And there was effeminate guys who used to wear effeminate clothes and had long hair, styled like a woman and stuff. Didn't mean they were girls, okay? That's just choice. But
It's style, basically, right?
Kids today are being indoctrinated with this multi-gender pronoun agenda, which is C16 came out to tell the parents and the basic society, you have to accept this, okay? You have no choice or we'll throw your ass in jail. Well, they won't throw your ass in jail. I don't think anyone's been jailed over C16. But the point is they're trying to force you to accept this.
That everything's normal.
This whole gender fluidity is what Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson has called it. And it's true. There's only two genders, folks. There's male and female. You've got a penis or a vagina, okay?
You can easily research that yourself.
And transgender is not a gender, just so you know, okay? It just means that we're transitioning our gender, so they kind of made one word out of it. There's people actually think transgender is a different gender. I've had people ask me about that. You're a boy or a girl, you're a male or a female, you're a man or a woman, and there's still only two genders, and until you can show me different parts, that you have different genitals than the rest of us, then I'll give you your own gender, okay?
Yeah.
But until then...
So if you want to research on what gender you may be, it's pretty simple. Just look at your own body.
Yeah, or look at your birth certificate. It should say on it. But anyway, no, I just wanted to get your opinion and give mine.
And I want to make this clear too, not against transgender or gays, or I wouldn't be sitting here.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And I have other friends that are transgender and gay, and
are trans.
I love my gay friends. They're fun. They're the best.
The people are people, and it's not what your sexual preference is. Does not make.
It's none of my business.
It does not make you who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Your life experiences are what make you as a person, and your upbringing and those kinds of things. Like I said, don't judge people. And don't fall into this multi-gender pronoun agenda. It's just silliness. It's meant to divide us. We need to fight back against it.
It's adding more confusion.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's actually divided the LGBTQ community as well. So now there's a lot of infighting with them. So, I mean, look at what's going on and see for what it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bid you all goodbye, a good day from Tracey and I. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's not a live stream. It's
close to it.
It's a film stream, and like I say, we'll do more. We wanted to cover these specific subjects today, and I think a lot of you could follow the same interests in those subjects because these are things that we're dealing with in this time and era. So anyway, until next time, I'd like to wish all my subscribers an awesome day. All my new subscribers, thank you for joining. And my viewers, if you ever want to join, the button's there. If not, keep watching. I mean, you're helping me either way. You're giving me views. So.
And watch for the Rick.
Watch out! Yeah, watch for Rick.
And subscribe to Rick, Canada.
If you see Yellow Vest protest and you want to know about it, go talk to them. They're all good people. Okay, well, I'm just saying, when we're protesting and stuff, I mean, we have good attitudes. I'm not saying what they do on their own time, but when we're yellow vesting, it's with protection of Canada in mind, okay? And you don't have to be any specific thing or religion or color or race to love this country, right? So don't feel you have to have some pass card or know a secret handshake or something. Come on over and talk to us. We're good people, okay? And anyway, au revoir, and we will talk to you next time.
Thank you for having me, Al.
Thanks for coming, Tracey.
Thanks.
Bye.